Today I'm sharing with you guys 10 of the biggest, the most pay-to-win games that mobile devices have ever seen. What is up, my friends? My name is Echo, and I want to share something with you guys before I tell you the 10 games on today's list. Just because a game is pay to win and has pay to win mechanics inside of it does not mean that I believe it's a bad game. A bunch of the games from today's list I've spent a ton of time playing, making content for, and actually enjoying. So just because these mechanics are in place inside of the game does not mean that it's bad. I just wanted to put out there ahead of time. I know pay to win has a bad name, but it's a fact and something we have to discuss. Doesn't mean they're bad though. The number one first game on today's list is Rise of Kingdoms. Rise of Kingdoms is a war strategy game where you are building up your civilization, teaming up with your alliance mates, and going to take over your realm. This is a game that I've covered so much before on my channel. Hundreds of videos, hundreds of hours played into this game, and I really did enjoy it. The problem was, while playing, there was a paywall. There was a point where if other people were paying more money than you, their advancing would be more quick and would be faster than the advancing that you're able to do, and it would become a problem. You'd be spending a lot of money to keep up with those people, which made it difficult to enjoy the game unless if you were also paying money to participate inside of the game. With all of the games on today's list, you can pay for free, but your experience will be hindered because you aren't paying as much as your neighbor. Coming in at number 2 is Infinity Kingdom, a direct competitor of Rise of Kingdoms, and a game that I picked up after playing Rise of Kingdoms. Not as big of a community here inside of Infinity Kingdom, but in my opinion, I like the game better. It doesn't have the free roam mechanics that you have inside of Rise of Kingdoms, but you do have dragons, you do have heroes, and different types of battles that I personally enjoyed more. With that being said, the same pay to win mechanic applies here. I love the immortals inside of Infinity Kingdom. I thought they were so fun, and I thought they were fairly easy to upgrade. And although Infinity Kingdom doesn't have the same pay to win mechanic that Rise of Kingdoms has, it definitely has a mechanic in place that allows other people paying more money to get a large advantage over you. And that's what pay to win actually means. When someone can gain an advantage over someone that's not paying by spending money inside of the game. Rise of Kingdoms and Infinity Kingdom both suffer from that. Another game similar to the two that we just saw is one called State of Survival. Yet another game that I covered heavily on my channel. It seems that I liked playing strategy games that were heavy on the pay to win on this channel. Well, this one was as well, except for this one has taken place in a zombie apocalypse. It's not, you can't have any of that free roaming that you had inside of Rise of Kingdoms. Here is more of a click to move type mechanic, but it does very well. The community for State of Survival is massive and it's fantastic, and I really don't have anything negative to say about any of the games so far on today's list, besides if you want to be a top player inside of these games, it takes more than just your skill. It's gonna take your wallet as well. So far, guys, if you're enjoying the video, make sure you subscribe to the channel and ring the bell, because I want you here for the next one. I'll see you there. If you have never heard of Raid Shadow Legends, then you have probably never heard of mobile games. One of the most promoted mobile games of all time. This is another strategy game with insane graphics, fun gameplay, and heroes and characters that, in my opinion, are amazing. Some of the best in all of mobile gaming. The problem is, to unlock all of these and to be able to play on a competitive level, you are going to have to pay money. Paying money is not the worst thing in the world. Every single one of us mobile gamers is not a free-to-play mobile gamer. There's nothing wrong with supporting a developer and paying for the product that they make. But you could spend a lot of money in Raid Shadow Legends, and that's okay, but you just need to know. Raid Shadow Legends is a character collector. It's also a PvP and a PvE battle mechanic game that is the top in its genre. Lords Mobile characterizes a tower defense game, but really is it a tower defense game? More like a war game like Rise of Kingdoms and like Infinity Kingdom that we spoke of earlier today. I believe this game even came out before those ones, and this is one that people have spent hundreds of thousands of dollars a piece inside of. Again, does this mean that it's a bad game? No, I don't believe it is at all. But when you have the ability to spend that kind of money, people will take advantage and people will gain a power advantage over you, making it very difficult or impossible for you to defeat them in battle. You know we needed an RPG on today's list, so welcome Marvel Strike Force, one of the best looking games on today's list, bringing you into that Marvel universe. I mean, look at that right there. It's a beautiful artwork, a game that I played, that I enjoyed, but I didn't spend a ton of time in because I realized that if I wanted to be a really solid player, that I would have to spend more money than I was willing to inside of the game. Again, we're looking at a game that has amazing PvE and PvP mechanics where you can play together with your clan and enjoy the battles and of course the great animations and artworks that this game has to offer. Along with Raid Shadow Legends, Marvel Strike Force is a leader in its class and one that you should definitely check out and decide for yourself if you want to be one of those high-level pay-to-win players. Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. First of all, if you're a Star Wars fan, you probably already know about this game and you probably really do like it. It's another one of those RPG style games like Raid Shadow Legends and Marvel Strike Force, but this one has been out a little bit longer. I do like the graphics, even though it's an older title, but again, it's one that's gonna have you open up your wallet to reach that end game, or you're gonna have to put in an extensive amount of grind that will take you forever, and you will still be behind the man or woman that's spending more money than you. Welcome to Top War Battle Game. This one's fun. It's a click and merge style game, one that I actually enjoyed quite a bit as I was testing it out. But then as I got about 30 to 45 minutes into the game, what I actually realized is that Top War is not actually just a protect your shore and merge tanks together kind of game. It's another one of those war style games, just like Rise of Kingdoms that we discussed at number 1 on today's list. The merging mechanics inside of this game were awesome. They were so much fun. I really did enjoy them and it gave a very casual feel. But when it came down to your beaches getting stormed, it was not a boom beach style getting stormed. It was more of a getting decimated in war, losing everything that you have, and not being able to get it back without spending money to beat the other man, just like we saw in the games mentioned earlier. Yes, this one has a more cartoony, a little bit more of a fun merging style, gives it a bit of a casual feel to it, but at the end of the day, it is still another one of those war games that you're going to be paying for power if you want to win. Next up, we have Puzzles and Survival. Puzzles and Survival is another style of war game, just like we saw earlier today. Is it not crazy that so many of the games that are the pay-to-win mechanic are war and build up a city and take down other city style games? They are all very similar. That genre on mobile seems to really be filled with this pay-to-win mechanic. Now, Puzzles and Survival does it differently. Rather than going into battle and actually seeing troops and things like that battle back and forth, you're doing a puzzle game like Candy Crush, and the battles are actually happening there. So where I sit for this one is, if I want one of the best war games, if I want a solid war game, I'd rather play one like Infinity Kingdom, Rise of Kingdoms, or State of Survival. If I want a solid puzzle game, I'll go play Candy Crush. I didn't love the merger, see what I did there, of the two. I didn't really like the way that the war and the puzzles were synergized together, but that's not why it's on today's list. It's on today's list because it's another one of the games where you can very much upgrade your city and your establishment based on the amount of money that you put into the game. We have a good example of puzzle battles that can go on inside of the game, which look like your average puzzler, except for you have the different mechanics from your heroes that are down below, which of course can be upgraded, which are not cheap to upgrade when we start talking about endgame. And of course you have big boss battles as well, which are fun, but at the end of the day, if you want to be a top player inside of the game, open up your wallet. And coming in at number 10 is WARPATH, which, yes, you guessed it, it's another war style game, but this one is not based in mythical times. It's not based in historic times, although it is a bit historic. It's more of a war style game, but with the same type of war mechanic that we've seen in other titles mentioned here today. As you can see from the actual gameplay, you'll notice that it all has the same feel as the other games. I mean, look at it. It looks the same, but people may like different skins over a game, a different look, a different feel that more fits their interests. Now, it's also worth noting that some of these games put out the most ridiculous commercials, and you can't believe what the commercials will say. So what'd you guys think of the list? If there's any games that I missed that you think are even more pay to win than the ones that I just shared with you today, make sure you let me know in the comments section below, because I want to check those ones out and make a part 2 of this video. So that's on you guys. I'll see you guys in the next one. Sub and ring the bell, you know the deal. Have a great day, guys, and be good.